Really, we brought you in today because we've been seeing some concerns happening out on the streets in the neighborhoods. Go ahead and introduce yourself so the viewers know who we're talking to, and then we'll get into our conversation.
Okay, I'm a detective. My name is Rolando Rodriguez. I'm part of the auto theft task force that we have down here. It consists of Brownsville, Donna, FAR, um, other agencies like DPS and stuff like that.
So you guys all work together in a task force that
Yeah, we all work together. We locate stolen vehicles. Uh, you know, share information of suspects of what we find. Um, we're also looking to burglaries of motor vehicles, unauthorized use of motor vehicles, and title frauds and any transfer of motor vehicles or anything.
okay. And I know we've been seeing, like I said, some issues lately in the last a week and a half or so. Go ahead and let's talk about some of that. What have you been seeing here in Harlingen?
We've been getting a high trends of burglary of motor vehicles and stolen vehicles, and usually it's key fobs being left behind into the vehicle, or um, weapons or something in value that's inside the car that they're able to go in there and they leave the vehicles unlocked.
Okay, so you're saying unsecured
Yeah,
vehicles, and this is happening at restaurants, shopping centers,
all, all,
neighborhoods
all
where
over the place, all over the place in neighborhoods, restaurants, shopping centers, and during the day and night.
during the day and night.
Mhm.
Okay, and what are we seeing as far as is there a certain age group that we're looking at, or is it certain people, or what's the trend? Like, can you get into a little bit more with the trend, so the citizens can know what they're looking for?
So it's mostly all ages. Basically, it's just a crime of opportunity.
Hmm.
Just if they're walking by and they're looking at it, and most of the time it's happening at night.
At
We get them
night.
during the day, but not as bad as the nighttime.
Okay, and you just mentioned right now crime of opportunity. Define that for the citizens.
Crime opportunity is like I mentioned. It was you leave your key behind. Your doors are unlocked. You leave something valuable where they can see it through the window,
Hmm.
like a laptop or jewelry, money that's on the center console.
Hmm.
So when the door's unlocked, they just go in there and start rummaging through, see what they can find. And sometimes people leave weapons in their vehicles, and they get their weapons taken as well.
Okay, so we're getting variety of different age groups walking parking lots and testing door handles to see if they're unsecured.
Yes.
Okay. So once they find a car that's unsecured and then they say a key fob's inside, like what are they doing after that?
So when they go inside the vehicle, they're most of the vehicles now are push to start. So they step on the brake, push the start button, and when they do that, the vehicle will indicate, oh, there is a key around, and they don't take time to look back and forth where the keys is. They just press the brake down, push down the button, start the vehicle, and
Take off with it.
take
Right?
off with it.
Okay. And like these vehicles, are we finding them like abandoned somewhere? Are they being used for other crimes?
Most of them are being found abandoned, either in the city or outside the city.
Mhm.
Once the officer makes a report, and the report goes up to or dispatch, and they send it out to, we're looking for a stolen vehicle.
Okay. And you mentioned about people leaving their vehicles unsecured, but they're also leaving weapons inside.
Yes.
Like, what is that? Like, what are we seeing?
Mostly, small compact weapons like handguns.
Hmm.
They'll leave them on the center console or under the seat,
Hmm.
right? And they'll, people forget. People forget they leave their weapons in there, and by the time they see their vehicle stolen, they don't comprehend what else was in that vehicle, and then they check in their house. They're like, oh, my weapon,
My weapon
my
was in.
weapon's missing.
Yeah.
It was in that car.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Which is not a crime to have your weapon in the car
No.
in the state of Texas. But we need to make sure that we're keeping, if we're choosing to leave our weapons in the car, that they're secured, right?
Yeah.
Because we're giving criminals easy access to weapons that they can use for crimes.
Yeah. And then also, I like to tell my victims, usually, take pictures, right, the serial numbers on your weapons and stuff like that, so that
Hmm.
way we can be able to
Track it.
track it down.
Hmm. Okay. Now, since we live so close to the border and you're working with the task
Mhm.
force, are majority of any vehicles being taken to be taken across the border, or is there certain types?
Yes. So there's another trend too, where we're having Mexico's having a turf war, right, between cartel factions.
Hmm.
So what they'll usually do, they'll send up what information they need, and usually they reach out somebody across the border, and let's say Jeep Gladiators, for example, right? And GMCs, Chevy Silverados. Those trucks were a big thing, you know, earlier on last year and this year, beginning of this year. Um, so whatever orders they want, they send them out. They reach out to somebody. Usually, is they're young adults. I reach out to them and see what they want. And when they get the vehicles or when they steal the vehicles, they cross them over to Mexico so that way they'd be able to get paid for them,
Pay for it.
right? And then what Mexico's doing is they're getting those vehicles and they're armoring up to help them fight their turf war out there.
Turf Force.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned like the Jeep Gladiators.
Mhm.
Is there a certain type of model or make that's being targeted the most?
Most of it is like the high valued models.
High
Yeah,
models.
the high value models. Most of it, that's what they're requesting.
Okay. And is there any advice that are people that are out there that have those high value vehicles or the ones that are being targeted? What's a simple way of the to get them to be not a victim?
Okay. Um, Usually, just there's wheel locks for them,
Mhm.
right? You can put a wheel lock on there to keep your vehicle secure. Make sure you lock your door. There's also, you can look at anti devices online, like Amazon.
Mhm.
They sell anti devices where you can put it on your OBD meter.
Okay.
It's a, they cover it and lock it. And usually that's how they gain access over it. So you have your fobs inside the house. They have, computer systems to override that
Okay.
vehicle.
Like a reprogrammer kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, they reprogram the whole vehicle and they go through the OBD meter. And Amazon sells those to those caps with a
Mhm.
lock and everything.
Oh, to block them from connecting to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Now you said a wheel lock. Is that kind of like the club back in the day
Yes.
used to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the old one. And you put a
Yeah.
wheel lock on it, you lock it.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
that little piece of club or whatever
Mhm.
prevents that vehicle from being stolen.
Yeah. Yeah. It prevents it. So for example, if you put a wheel lock on there, and the suspect's walking around, because usually what they'll do, they'll scope out the place and then they'll come back for it later.
Hmm.
And when they approach the vehicle, they see a wheel lock. They either like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with this because I'm gonna leave, because it's gonna take me time to
To get back past
yeah
bypass
to
that.
bypass that and everything. So it helps.
Hmm. Okay. Now, as far as any other kind of trends, what else are we seeing that we should be notifying the public about?
Usually, my advice is if you have camera systems, look through them throughout the daily basis, even though nothing happened. Go at night, scroll through them. See if you see anything odd, like someone walking by or someone looking into the car or anything
Hmm.
like that. Reach out to us. Call an officer. An officer will show up and he'll notate it down. Right,
Hmm.
won't be a report made, but at least it's notated down. They'll send us an email advising us, hey, there was a guy that was looking into this car, even though they didn't touch the vehicle or try to open the door or anything like that. It helps because now we see, okay, they're possibly scoping out the place. Um, yeah, so you have cameras, review them on a daily basis. If you do see something, reach out to us.
Okay.
And again, make sure, in your vehicle, make sure you don't leave anything as valuable in there that they can really see it through the window.
Hmm. Which is that's good information about the cameras because even though you didn't get hit, your neighbor down the street could have gotten hit, and you have video of the suspects.
Yep, and it helps the investigation really well.
Hmm.
Sometimes the neighbors don't have cameras, and they
Hmm.
depend on other neighbors to hey, do you have cameras? This happened to me last night, and in Harlingen, we're a good community. We're pretty close, so it helps the investigation when we got pretty successful on it.
Okay. So advice is review cameras. Anything suspicious, notify us.
Mhm.
Don't leave high value items in plain view in your car.
Yep.
Lock your cars.
Yep.
And if you do see something, report it.
Yes.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing some of this helpful information for our citizens. Hopefully, we can deter some of more of the thefts that are happening and slow down this trend that we're seeing. But thanks for coming in and spending some time with us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank-